Obviously, the rhythm and the speed of passengers coming and going at every airport is different. But LAX being one of the major airports, I mean, there were people coming and going. Obviously, every 30 seconds a plane lands or takes off at LAX, and but if you're going to go to LAX and wait, through that 400-500 queue, plus what's happening at LAX and at most major airports, is that there is rematch happening. So the drivers who are dropping off are getting the chips, right? Clear out the loop or clear out the demand. And you're sitting in the queue waiting for hours, literally 3 hours, 4 hours. It's not going to work out for you. In fact, next week, hopefully it'll be out. New York Times did a great article, with us at LAX to see the good, the bad, the ugly of LAX, and it should be out by Callum Browning of New York Times next week. We'll share that with you guys. I'm not sure why people are waiting 400 or 500 of them. I mean, I do get it that you're waiting for a unicorn out of an great trip, obviously, but then this happened, and I was like, so that's the Tuesday showed up, which was a couple days before, and my emails box blew up, and then I started getting these. Now, this is not just from LAX. Okay, I have great contacts at LAX. Okay, in fact, the person that super chatted, Michael Fontaner, all right, $9.99. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, this is exactly what we're talking about. Uber will log you off the app when you are at the airport at a big event, right? But there is a way around it. Okay, so let's see what his is. Just have your Uber backup codes available through two-factor authentication. Okay, that's one way. You can swipe up, stop the app before you say okay, because this is what a lot of drivers were seeing. Now, this came to me from 4 states: Texas, Missouri, Kansas International Airport was experiencing this, Atlanta, Georgia, LAX. We had a similar problem like this, Chris, if you remember, about a year ago in Texas. Okay. And so what they were doing is they were logging people off after 3 requests. Well, in most major airports, the punishment for you to decline trips is they send you to the back of the queue. Okay, so let's say we showed that LAX screenshot. There's 400 or 500 people. You waited 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes whatever, to grab a trip, and they throw you 3 in a row trash, and you decline, and they kick you to the back of the queue. That was the punishment. It shouldn't be that way, but let's say it is. It is that way. But now, starting Tuesday morning, this is what drivers were seeing at least those 4 airports. Have you guys experienced this in your airports? I got these reports from 4 different states.
Put your airport code too. Now we also have a video too of it happening. So let's play that right now, and you can see it.
What's happened. This is from LAX.
All those people who are driving right now know there's going to be a little bit of audio background from the Uber app, so just know that.
Yeah.
Quick disclaimer.
So we obviously speeded this up, but this was happening at LAX. So he gets the trip, he declines. That was the first one. Okay. Again, I'm not saying the trip is not doable, but for his own reasons, this gentleman also does hire Lyft platforms, and he may be waiting for that. So now he will get this screenshot. So still accepting trips warning, and then he will say yes, and he will wait some more, and he will get the second ping, and there is the second ping. Again, some people may take this on. So he does Espanol, X, Comfort, and on Lyft he does Black. So he's probably waiting for a Black. So this was the second ping. And then comes the third ping. So after this, okay, so you're you're about to go to the back of the queue. And now, if you click this okay, now you're in trouble. Okay. Now there is a sign off, and there is a log out, complete log out. This is what was happening. So next he would click continue on this, and he would kick him back to logging in from the start, basically with his email, phone number, two-factor authentication, all the good stuff, just like you're logging into the system, almost like a new driver, basically. Okay.
Yep.
So after 3 requests, this is what he was seeing. And of course, everybody sent me this. It goes, Serge, this is like the busiest time of the year for holiday travel. What the F, right? And I'm going like, I don't know. I didn't go to LAX, but then this is, from a very reliable source. And then comes the Kansas City driver, comes the Atlanta, Georgia driver, comes the, Dallas, Fort Worth drivers. And I'm going like, holy shit, this thing is spreading out. And this is what everybody is seeing.
Yep.
Now,
well, not only that, but people were also seeing beyond that, denied login again.
Yeah.
So that was where you were kicked out for a certain extended amount of time. We talked about this, I don't know, maybe last year at this point. We Zoom, thank you for the super chat. We talked about this beforehand. What was it? Maybe a year ago, or
about a year ago, it was happening.
Early spring, late winter, and they were logging out for like 3 hours in Dallas.
Yep.
Up to 8 hours at times, where you could not log back in. You were met with this screen every single time you tried.
Well, Chris, initially what happened is that they were seeing this, right? They were getting logged off the system platform, period. Not signing out, logging off, right? So you had to log back in, which is not too big of a convenience, I guess. But why should you anyway? And it takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes to put everything in. But then if you go through the same cycle again, and let's say you're crazy enough to wait another 4 hours and decline 3 more, okay, then the login deny screen was coming in. And if you guys look at the the date on those, it's literally happening Tuesday, Wednesday now. And this gentleman was suffering 4 hours at a time. He was getting logged out of the system 4 hours. This brought me back the Dallas driver's problem about a year ago, where we put it out and it got fixed. It took a while. It took like almost a month. But then our relationship with Uber at that time was not like this, right? Because now they're actually more paying attention to what we're saying. And so this started last Tuesday, people. So if this screwed you up at airports, please let me know. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. If it's still going on, please let me know. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. And lastly,
allegedly it was fixed earlier supposed to be fully fixed earlier today. So if you are still getting this, please send email to Sergio at therideshareguy.com. But there was also one other thing that was going on too when people were getting logged out, was all of the settings. You'd have to redo all of your settings then again as well. So even if you logged back in, you normally would have your settings saved. This was not saved, so you would have to reset everything then on top of that. So that's where the more inconvenience was happening. So not only was it logging out and then having to log back in, but redo all of your settings in order to be where you were prior to this whole thing.
So this is a no-go in my book. Okay, this is the busiest Thanksgiving. I mean, the busiest holiday travel. By the way, I'm sorry to butcher your name. Send me an email. Is that happening in the city, or is that happening at the airports? Because we don't want this to spread to the city. When it spreads to the city, then we're really screwed. Because this was happening in the city about a year ago. We need to stay on our toes here. Okay. So I was like, okay, what do I do now? I got all these emails. I got all these screenshots. I go, okay, well, Tuesday is like a week away. We need to do something, right? Okay. So as I said, Uber is paying attention. I packaged this as you guys are seeing it and sent it to Uber. And I said, what the F? This is like the busiest time of the year for people to do airport trips. And this is bullshit, right? I mean, what are you guys doing? And then, look, I got confirmation this morning from my LAX drivers. Again, you need to let me know, people. Sergio at therideshareguy.com if this is happening still in your airports or in the city. Please, this is important. So once I sent them the package this morning, exactly a week to the hour, Chris. 11 a.m. it started on last Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and it ended today at 11 a.m. And I got the all clear from LAX drivers that, yes, things are back to normal. If we decline 3, we're getting kicked to the back of the queue. No log out. So I am not going to sit here and say intentional, whatever. Okay, you all probably will say that, will think that. I'm thinking there's too much of a coincidence that it starts happening on Tuesday, and then on Tuesday at 11 a.m. it goes away. Like, it's a little bit too much of a coincidence, but to look at this positively. Okay, let's look at this positively. I know there is negativity everywhere. We don't want to keep harping that stuff. In the old days, this would not have gotten fixed. The reason it got fixed is because of the community. I did not know about this. I didn't want to go to LAX. People sent me a whole bunch of information. I gathered the information. I'm like the liaison between you guys and Uber. I go, hey, what the F? This is bullshit. Stop it. And then they're paying attention. Look, if they really had a bug and they fixed it, kudos. I'm not buying it, but if they did, great. Thumbs up. But to me, it's like too much of a coincidence that the busy. Plus, I'm thinking, what is Uber's idea here or intent here? It's the busiest holiday. They need as many drivers as possible. Why are you logging people out? And then, I mean, there's no benefit for Uber to log people out, right? So if you want to say, accept that there was a bug and that's what happened and they fixed it, it took them a week to fix it, okay, fine. But this would not have gotten fixed in a week. Trust me, people. So please send me everything you see. You guys are my eyes and ears. This is what we're trying to do. Fix shit before it completely breaks. It seemed like to a lot of people, it completely broke. And there was nothing they could do. Sometimes they got logged out for hours. They lost income. I know. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least it's working now. If it's not working, please email me, Sergio@RideShareGuy.com, and then we'll take it further. So, yeah, that's what's happening. So,
yeah, I think it's just code that needs to be eliminated. As the title of last week's show was talking about, Uber's algorithm is broken. I mean, that's the same thing. If you got these things that are in there coded, and then all of a sudden they're coming back, especially at the worst times. Again, this is one of the busiest travel times for starting on Tuesday and, going throughout the weekend as people are going to family, friends, wherever. And, just I mean, that's the same thing. I would say you want as many drivers on the platform as you can, and putting them into timeouts or anything like that would just be kind of the opposite way when you want that many people and that many people are there. But who knows what's going on? And I think it's just the code going rogue. And something like that, they need to eliminate that code altogether. So it cannot log people out, and then it can't, you don't get that timeout of 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, whatever it might be. So I think that needs to really be addressed and then just eliminated from the code altogether.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, it's just, to me, it's baffling that it starts on Tuesday, 2 days before Thanksgiving, and then it ends Tuesday today. It's like,
Well,
out of all weeks.
beyond that, yeah. Well, let's hope that it doesn't work around the next month or two.
Yeah, we'll
as
find
we
out.
go
We'll
all the
find
way
out.
through New Year's, because there's a lot of things going on, a lot of different parties, end of year parties, Christmas parties, traveling for the holidays as well, all the parties that are going on, all of that stuff. Let's hope that this type of thing
Okay.
does not actually continue on
Dot-
or spill out into anywhere else. So
Okay, Dada, you need to
unfortunately-
email me on this, Sergio@RideShareGuy.com. Dada, you must email me on this, whatever you have on this, okay?
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.